they are all the kind of people that other people would bet on them if they could. If you could go to Vegas and be like, I want to bet on Jason Capital, a lot of people would do that, right? If you could go there and be like, I want to bet on Steve Wynn, a lot of people would do that. They would choose to bet on Steve Wynn over themselves. Okay, I want you to see yourself to be at the level where you wouldn't bet on Steve Wynn over yourself. You wouldn't choose Rihanna over yourself. Like, you realize when you go to iTunes and you put down $20 for Kanye's new album or Rihanna's new album, you're voting with your currency. And you are saying, I choose her to provide better value for my life than myself. That's what the 99% are saying when they do this. I don't do that, okay? None of these people do that. I want you to be the kind of person who doesn't bet on Rihanna. You bet on yourself. You invest in yourself, and you consistently and constantly become the kind of person worth betting on. All right, you choose yourself in all endeavors and situations. And number 3, they all lean into their edges. What do I mean by that? Someone who leans into their edges, when they're tired, they've worked hard all day, and it's 9 p.m., and they know they got a little bit more to do, but they could just put it off until tomorrow. And there's the siren call of the refrigerator, or the bottle, or the TV, or the spouse, or whatever. Someone who leans into their edges at that point will not choose the bottle, or the couch, or the TV, or the spouse. If they know they have something to do, and even if it's hard, they are at that edge, they don't go back into the center of the comfort zone. They lean into their edges. They'll go that extra half hour if they have to. They'll go that extra hour if they have to. And because of those little mini commitments that they make at the edge, where they choose to lean out instead of coming back in it, they win because of that. They grow because of that. They are constantly pushing out their comfort zone further and further because of that. Okay, the whole idea that you should step out of your comfort zone is bullshit. Okay, you never step out of your comfort zone. You are always within your comfort zone. What you want to do with these new actions is you take actions that are at the edge of your comfort zone, and by doing that, you immediately expand the zone of comfort. That's what we want to do here. That's what we're doing. That's what you do when you lean into your edges. Every time you lean into that edge, you push that comfort zone out further and further and further. And now there are more things that are doable within your comfort zone. That's the key, okay? So if you can do those 3 things with me here throughout these 4 weeks, you're going to be good to go. Okay, and the final thing I want to share here, actually, is one more thing that I need you to kind of think about as we are transforming you into a charisma guide here. Okay, this is called the developmental detour. In the first book I ever wrote, I talked about how if you were a guy and you were looking to become more confident and more attractive and more successful with women, you were going to have to start doing things that you don't normally do. Okay, and think about Aristotle, right? What did Aristotle say? He said, you are what you repeatedly do. Okay, you are what you repeatedly do. So if you're going to start doing different things to become more attractive and successful with women, the idea of you, the self-concept, the self-image is going to change with it, okay? This idea of self-image, of identity, it is not some concrete idea, some concrete picture, some concrete concept. No, okay? It is simply an amalgamation, amalgamation of the things that you have been doing the last 20, 30, 90 days or so, okay? A way to think about it, I'm gonna erase this and blow your mind at the same time, is this. So strategy over identity, okay? This is why you can use affirmations and incantations that I am a confident person, I am a confident person, I am a confident person. You can do that all day if you want. Scream it, yell it, tweet it, don't care. But until the things that you are doing, the actions that you are taking, these strategies that you are executing in on your life change, your identity will not change. You are what you do. You are what you do. And don't make the mistake of thinking that you don't have strategies in your life right now. Everything that you do is a strategy. The question is it the best strategy or is it a subpar strategy? That's what we're looking for, all right? So anyways, back to the example, okay? This developmental detour. So I wrote in the book that if you're going to become, again, confident, attractive, and successful with women, just using that example, you're going to have to start doing things differently than you used to, meaning your strategies are going to change. Your strategies are going to be different. And any time that you change your strategies, things are going to feel a little weird. Okay, they're going to feel a little off. And a lot of times you may even say to yourself, this isn't me. This doesn't feel like me. I wouldn't do this. No, I wouldn't do that. You want me to say that to a girl? I wouldn't do that. You want me to go up to a girl and tease her and ask her what kind of drink she wants to buy me? I would never do that. That's not me. I wouldn't do that. No, there is no concept of you right now. And that's what the developmental detour is about, okay? As we go through the charisma training, I want you to just set aside, okay? Just take the idea of you, okay? I got it in front of me, you got it in front of you. Take this idea of you and just put it in a storage unit, close it up, lock it up just for 30 days. You can come back and get it if you want in 30 days, okay? But for 30 days, I want us to come to just a fair agreement, okay? You are temporarily not going to be you for the next 30 days. That's it. You're just not going to be you for the next 30 days. You're going to be trying on new clothes, new strategies. And we're going to see what kind of results that you get in your life, at home, in the office, everywhere you go. Now, I know what's going to happen, okay? A lot of people think I'm a wizard, I'm a psychic, and, I'm not those things. However, I guess I am pretty good at predicting certain things like I am going to predict right now. You're going to find with these new strategies, these charisma strategies that we're going to be practicing and installing here, you're going to be getting such different, better, greater, brighter, more just desirable results in your life with less effort, with less time, that you're not going to want to go back to that. You're just going to leave it there, and it's going to be put in storage with the other stuff, from your past, from your childhood, and that's fine. But understand, we're going to take a developmental detour. Next 30 days, temporarily, not you, as you're trying all these things. So if at any point I have you do something and you're like, Jason, that does not sound like me, or I wouldn't do that, that argument, that excuse doesn't exist, because we already agreed here that we're going to temporarily start doing things that we wouldn't do. Do I have your firm commitment on that? I will not go further until I hear it. Let me just hear you say yes at home. Okay, that was not loud enough. I'm gonna go first. Okay, I'll go first. I'm gonna say yes really loud. This is my commitment. I'm putting my fist on the table. I want you to fist bump me. I want you to give it back. All right, so I'm gonna say yes first, and you're gonna say it back. Yes! That was fantastic. All right, so let's keep going. Now, final thing, actually, before we start talking about Kaizen here, is commitment, okay? So what I need you to do is commit to Charisma God, to becoming a Charisma God hardcore for the next 30 days. This is a 4-week training. We're bull rushing through barriers. We're conquering nonsense, and we are coming out as the highest status, most charismatic versions of ourselves, which is great, okay? But it is only going to happen with your commitment. Now, this is a word most people don't understand, okay? And I'm not just like saying that like, oh, Jason's just spouting off rant. No. What is the divorce rate in America? 51, 52, 55%, somewhere in there. It's above 50 now. What do they say when they get married, though? What's the commitment that they make in front of friends and family and their spiritual beliefs, whatever that may be, right? Do you commit, Taylor? What is it? Do you commit to love and cherish this person? I know you've shot a lot of weddings. What is it? He shot like hundreds of weddings. Doesn't remember what it is. It's like, do you promise to hold and to see? You know my beliefs, right? The point is this. Yeah, it's a whole thing where they go over and over and over. Do you commit? Do you commit? Do you commit to this person? What do they all say? Yes, I do. What do they say 6 months to 2 years later? I know. I know. I said that. Like I do. But I didn't mean that. I was drunk. We had wine, champagne that day. I was in front of my friends. I was having a good time. So I was yeah, I do. I do. Like you say it like, do you want fries with that? Yeah, I do. It was like one of those I do's. It wasn't like a real I do. And then they get divorced. So you make a commitment, friends, family, a priest, a rabbi, who knows what else. Sometimes there's elephants at weddings, which would actually be really cool. And you make this commitment. And then later on, you're like, yeah, I don't mean that. 50+%. Not children, right? You're like, oh, children, you can't trust. These are adults making one of the biggest decisions of their lives. You get 5 big decisions in your life. This is one of them. And you can't even commit to that, okay? So that is not what commitment is. Let me tell you what real commitment looks like, sounds like, feels like. So my mentor, billionaire Dan Pena, about 20 years ago, he has this meeting set up in New York City. I think it's on a Wednesday evening. Now on Tuesday, Dan is out in Baja, California on ATVs, having a great time, frolicking around on the 4-wheelers with his 2 sons. Or 2 sons, yeah. And they're busting up and down the hills. They're having a great time. And he's got his meeting tomorrow, but he's having fun with his family today. And if you know Dan Pena, you know that man doesn't just lean into his edges, okay? He is the fucking edge. That's where he lives. That's where he thrives. So he is pushing this ATV as fast as he can go. He's finding hills. He's jumping them. He's twisting. He's turning. He's starting. He's stopping. He's accelerating. He's doing it all. And then he hits a bump that he didn't see. And this ATV flips over. And he's not as young as he used to be. He's in his 50s at this point. And it flips over. And the thing finally stops. Thank God he's alive. His kids come rushing over. Dad, are you okay? Fortunately, he's still breathing. They rush him to a hospital. And here's what the doctors find. Let me try to get this right. A punctured lung, several broken ribs, broken collarbones, broken arm, broken tibia or fibula, several broken bones, several things punctured on the inside, okay? Terrible, terrible injuries. So they put him under and they're fixing him with some stuff, with some surgery just to get him in casts and things like that and get him okay. And he wakes up the next day, sees all this. 2 questions for his sons. 1, what happened? Actually, 3 questions. 1, what happened? 2, am I gonna die? And 3, how can I get on a plane to New York? I can't miss this meeting. Now, I want you to imagine for a second. You just got in a huge accident. You've broken several bones. You punctured a lung. Your spleen is fucked up. Everything is fucked up. You had a meeting the next day, other side of the country. Are you thinking about going to that meeting because you made a commitment? Or are you just like, no, I don't need to go to that? They will understand. I'm going to stay here and recover. Now, I don't know about you, but I know for me, until I first heard this story, I would have never thought to go to the meeting. It wouldn't have occurred to me. I'm not saying I couldn't. I just would have never thought. No one would have expected me to. But we all come to a time and place where we realize that what people expect of us doesn't matter nearly as much as what we expect of ourselves. And Dan Pena expected himself to be a committed person. That's how he sees himself. So he arranges for a jet. He gets on the jet. He has a nurse come with him. He pulls up to the meeting. It's at a dinner meeting. He gets wheeled into this meeting. His legs up. He can barely breathe. There's an IV behind him. Pulls up to the table, and his person he's meeting with is like, Dan, what the hell happened? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just couldn't miss the meeting, okay? That right there is commitment. That's what commitment sounds like. That's what commitment looks like. When Walt Disney is already the creator of Mickey Mouse, and it's this huge phenomenon sweeping the United States, and he has an idea that he wants to build this incredible amusement park. and he goes to the first bank and he needs money and financing for it, and they say no. He goes to a second and they say no, and he goes to a third and they say no, and he goes to 310 in total before he hears a yes. That's commitment. Okay, that's what I'm looking for from you here. I need you to commit to this training, and to yourself, and to your dream life, to you getting it with me here. Because when you get that, when you commit at that level, when you become a charisma god, getting your dream life goes from many steps to just a couple. It can really be that simple. It really is that simple. Okay, I have a friend who literally hasn't produced anything of value in years, yet he still makes 500 grand a year simply because he's charismatic. I kid you not. Okay, that is that secret unspoken truth about society, that higher status and charisma. These are the things that put people at the top of the pay grade, that put people at the top of the relationship grade, that put people at the top of the wealth and the happiness and just the quality of life grade. So let's talk about the secret of the universe. Now, this secret has nothing to do with The Secret, right? That program that Oprah made popular, where it was like you just think about stuff on your couch, FedEx will come to your door with it. That didn't really work, right? And this secret isn't, it has nothing to do with charisma per se, but it does have everything to do with you getting what you want in your life, okay? And it is one of these guiding principles that all the most successful people on Team Capital live by, okay? And it's called Kaizen. What is Kaizen? Kaizen is a Japanese term, and it means constant and never-ending improvement. It really means this idea, it is a mindset where whatever it is that you're working on. So for instance, you are working on yourself and becoming the most charismatic version of yourself right now, so you can take that with you to all the incredible destinations that you'll be hitting in your lifetime. But it means that you approach becoming charismatic, not like most people where you like work at it for one day. Right, like the average person goes to the gym, if they haven't been to the gym in a while, and they work out for like a week, and they step on the scale, and they're trying to lose weight. If they haven't lost weight, they're like, fuck, it's not working, and they stop. Okay, someone with a Kaizen mindset will do that, but even if they step on the scale after a week and they haven't lost weight, they don't go, fuck, it's not working. They're not basing their actions and behaviors and what they're gonna be doing based on early outcomes. They are doing what they're doing, their actions, their behaviors, their strategies, their executions, their tactics, their techniques, all of it, their whole diet, their workout, all of it is based on Kaizen. Meaning, I know if I stick to this plan over 90 days, that I will make small, tiny, incremental improvements. And over time, those little hinges will swing big doors open for me. Okay, that's what Kaizen is about. Now, I live by this principle. Okay, I remember a few years ago, this was when I didn't have my girlfriend, and one morning I woke up and there's someone in the bed next to me, and she wakes up, I'm already up and I'm still in bed, and she looks over and she's like, what are you doing? Because I'm sitting there with my back to her and I'm like, this, right? That's all she can see. And she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, hold on. Like, will you, 1 second, I'll be right there. Turn around, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I was just going through my note cards. Going through your note cards, what do you mean? Like 15 minutes every morning, first thing I do when I wake up is I lean over, my brain is fresh, first thing I see, primacy effect, I have my Kaizen note cards, okay? And what are on those note cards? Whatever skill I am trying to, I'm not gonna say trying, whatever skill I am acquiring at that point in my life. So at that time, it might have been dating principles or success principles. Now it might be communication tactics, it might be marketing principles, it might be rapid change formulas, it might be all kinds of stuff. Okay, but whatever that thing I'm focusing on, that's my Kaizen focus. And the first note cards, first thing when I wake up, and note cards right before I go to bed. And she was like, I've never seen anyone ever do anything like that. And I was like, I know, you've never seen anyone like me. I get it, I understand, right? That's what Kaizen is. Shaq used to talk about how he would go to the Staples Center before a game, and he'd get there with his entourage, and he's taking his time, and he's talking to the press, and he's talking to the fans, and he's talking to the coaches, and he's having a good time. But Kobe wouldn't do any of that. He would get there, and Kobe would already be there, drenched in sweat, working on, let's say, his post moves, or his fadeaway, or his step back, okay? But he wouldn't just be going like this, working on shots with the trainer. He'd be by himself, no trainer, no rebounder, because Kobe wasn't doing it with the ball. He was literally rehearsing every move before the game without the basketball, exactly what he was going to do all game long. Now, do you think Kobe Bryant practiced and lived by the art of Kaizen? The answer is yes, right? An NBA scout, I hear this quote, I think it says it perfectly. He goes, Allen Iverson loves to play when the lights come on. Kobe Bryant loves doing the shit before the lights come on. Okay, that's the difference between that person who goes on the scale and it was wait, I'm done after a week, versus the person who sticks to the plan because they believe in Kaizen. They trust the power of small, daily, incremental improvements, just the tiniest bit. Maybe you can't even see it for weeks, but at some point, that stuff adds up. Okay, I will commit to the practice of Kaizen for the rest of my life. Okay, it is tattooed. I don't need a skin tattoo. That shit is tattooed to my heart. It is the reason for my success, and it will be the reason for your success here in the Charisma program. Okay, so what I want you to do, actually I'm gonna get to that in a second, okay? Here's what I want you to do, okay? Do you want the most out of charisma? Do you want all the fruits of your labor? If yes, here's what I need you to do now, okay? Based on what you're learning here, because you are taking notes, because you are gonna have exercises later on, I need you to schedule just 1 hour a day. Just carve out 1 hour a day for the next 30 days that you will commit to studying, practicing, and applying what you learned here inside Charisma. Now, what does that count as? Well, it can count as going over your notes. It can count as re-watching that week's training. It can count as re-listening or re-going on to the group coaching session from that week. It can go to taking action steps on some of the stuff you have here and going out and practicing on different people. It can be recording videos of yourself practicing that way. I don't care what it is. Okay, I'm gonna give you some specific stuff, but not enough to fill up an hour a day. That's gonna be on you. That's my challenge for you. I'm going here. I want you to meet me halfway so we can do this together. Okay, commit to and carve out that 1 hour per day of Kaizen training, all right? So, let's get to the content. Let's do this. So, here's the big idea of week one inside charisma. This is going to be the most important thing.